Alrighty. Alright. I am going to call this meeting to order at 6:30. Roll call.
Jim?
Here.
Mark?
Here.
Gary?
Yes.
Dylan?
Here.
Tim?
Here.
Ellen?
Here.
Matt?
Here. Approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public forum, persons asking to speak to the board, reasonable amount of time, not to exceed 5 minutes. We don't have anybody on the list, so we can skip that. Approval of the minutes, regular board meeting of December 16th, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Reports, clerk, forthcoming events and correspondence.
Okay, I did get a call from Congressman Glenn Grothman, and he would like to come here to Village Hall Monday, February 17th at 1 o'clock. He'd show up with his staff at noon just for open forum. Anybody from the public can come in here and talk to him and about anything. He figured it'd be about an hour, hour and a half. Usually his forums, I guess he's going to go to Wild Rose first and then come here. He said it's usually about 30 to 40 people that show up, so I don't know if that needs to be advertised somewhere that he's going to be here.
Did he give a time approximately?
Yeah, he's coming at 1. He should be out by 2:30.
17th.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's all I have.
Okay, President. Currently at this time I don't have any report, but I'd like to say that everybody seems to be doing a good job. Seems like things are working well in the village at the moment. See kids on the ice skating rink having a good time and stuff like that. So I hope the feeling keeps going in the right direction and we keep getting more people involved with the community around here. It feels nice to see everybody getting out and doing some things.
Amen.
So, all right, well then we'll move on to finance, personal, and insurance. Dylan Gray.
All right, so we'll do a motion to approve checks under the general fund 326 through 115427, an amount of $14,419.84. Under the water fund, checks 80 through 1901, an amount of $5,320. Sewer fund, checks 63006908 through 63006916, in the amount of $3,338.62. And checks upside down. 433 through 684 and 436 through 697, the amount of $24,192.09. The grand total of $47,846.73.
Second the motion.
We have this, oh, I'm sorry, I was reading something there. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so then I guess we're gonna move on to the library. Jeannie, do you have a monthly update for us?
Okay, so our annual CERC for 2024 was up 6%. When I was here about a year ago, I said it would be difficult to beat that 50% increase from when we went full-time to full-time. So we did that, and we had a 50% increase. Now we're maintaining another 6% increase. And it would have been higher if we weren't closed for 3 months during our construction with the shelving. So we had book sales, but we really, our library was closed off a big chunk of that time for checkouts. So to us, that's a good, and that's just numbers of items checked out. That's not people walking in the door. That's not the services that we track on our annual report. Those services are up 50%. So we have more people coming in the door, we have more people using the library, we have tutoring sessions going on, things that I've discussed, and this is not money or staff time going to additional programming. This is just the use of your community members using the library and its resources. So that's a segue to our annual report. I know everyone's probably talking about their annuals and the closeout. Ours, we get access to our DPI annual report next week. We start working on it for about 3 weeks, and then I would hope that it would go on the February agenda for you all to approve our annual report, because we're going to try and get it approved by the board before you guys meet. That way, I'm not waiting until the end of March and a deadline. I like to get it done. This is my 3rd year doing it. I already have things in the hopper, so it's not as hard or as intimidating as before. So that's going to be a nice report, because you're going to see a lot of different things that we've done and what circulates. Next Tuesday, we have our All Walls annual meeting. That's all the 32 library directors meet, and we go for training. Basically, we're learning new products that's out there on the databases. I've talked about some of the things I knew were going to come out of 2025. They're live now. The children manuals already are seeing big hits, the craft things. So people don't realize that, libraries don't have the children manuals on the shelves anymore, and our library would never have had it because of the cost and the space of them. But the digitized version is out there. The rub is people who use those manuals, translating a book to clicking and moving and navigating on the screen is a little difficult. So there's some training involved with people who actually need to find a schematic to some sort of cooling part in a Subaru 68. And we can get that for them, but for them to find and navigate, we're seeing that pointing and clicking with the mouse is a little bit of a trouble, factor with that. So anyway, we're going to be doing some more hands-on hand with that, because I'm getting people coming in for that. Take a stand, those. So last year, the Friends of the Library and the library, we spent about $1,800 on these stands. We had about 28 of them. We gave 8 to the Village of Loreauville, and they put them out. We didn't get ours out for a variety of reasons. So storage is an issue. I can't keep storing them at my ex-husband's shop in Loreauville, and we don't have space to store them during the winter. So Take a Stand is what we're doing. We're offering businesses in the area to take one and decorate it, and then for the winter months, and store it and finish it, bedazzle it in the way they want. If you guys remember the lions in Oshkosh, where people had lions and they were for all, that's kind of the concept that we're doing here. So we have a couple of them out already to businesses. They're going to put their stuff on it, and then when we put them out this summer, they'll have something with that business community act in there, and then we'll have our library program stuff on it. So if we put them just outside the library, we can, but I would like maybe the Parks Committee to commit to putting them out, and there'll be historical stuff in there. And I got to tell you, when I put the historical boards out, every event that we've had, it's gotten huge response. So we know that that's a nerve in this area. So we'd like to keep going with that. That goes back into our history. So with all the stuff that we've been doing this last year of navigating in the library and changing things around, we have an area now specifically for local history where we can start digitizing. So I've written some grants, I've looked at some schematics where we can get a drop-down camera that will be able, like a surgeon would use to take a picture, but we would use that to take pictures of big documents. So a scanner, the screen that we have right now is not big enough for some of these historical boards that we have. So that, among other things, but it will also be more detailed. So we're basically working on a volunteer system to get this all cataloged and stuff done. Libraries who have started digitizing wild growths and stuff, they have paid to get it shipped off. They started that several years ago. That price has tripled, if not quadrupled. So it doesn't pay for us to send our scanned items away. It's easier for us to do it in-house with volunteer. And we have a pretty good volunteer force. So, and this is interesting to a big chunk of people, and so they love doing it. So that's our big goal for 2025 is to get that historical stuff and start putting it on the database so it's searchable for people, not just here, but from wherever they are. So maybe somebody lived here 20 years ago, have family still here, but live somewhere else, but want to come and check out our historical documents. Instead of calling us, they can do some of their research on their own. So, and that will be available, obviously, 24/7, 365, which the library, people don't know, we're open 24/7, 365. We get questions fielded all hours of the day and night that we're answering. So that's another thing that we've seen an increase, is just our visibility. And probably that's just getting the word out that we just haven't done before. There's a cohort process that we're doing and survey that's coming up. So I'm going around and I'm asking different places, different townships, if we can put a kind of a square informant board. It's a 3-board thing. Maybe we can put one out here if it's acceptable. But basically, it's going to be asking questions on a survey about library services, community groups, what it is that our community people see, the Redgranite, what we have, what we want, what the vision in the future is. So that's all part of the cohort thing. If you don't have space, that's fine, but I know some businesses and stuff in other townships are going to be doing that for us. So I would ask that we could do that, and that would kind of tick off one of our survey requests that we have to do for this process. There's more, but that's enough. So.
Okay, thank you, Jeannie.
Jeannie, is this something that we could put up to the quarry, or we don't want to risk it?
What?
With historical pictures?
Yes, that's where they were supposed to go.
So we'd have to put them on a concrete pad, bolt them down,
Or strap them to a tree, whatever. The base is not the best. It's not, we can modify the design. We also know that we're gonna get more because this is a very big thing. If you look around some of the parks, the storyboards, the adventure boards, if you do storyboards or the story walk, there's a copyright in that. It's not much, but I really like the history stuff because there is no copyright on
so
that.
pictures of the place where we put it at the quarry would be,
Yeah, so like the
Okay.
people who are taking it in their businesses, it'll be a historical picture of their business, and then they're gonna keep it in there and put whatever advertisements they want, their menu, whatever, for that duration. And then when we get it this spring, whatever color bedazzling they decided to do, with their flavor on it, then we're gonna put that, and they sponsor that stand and take it next winter.
okay, thank you.
I've done the scanner, have you checked with Fox Valley Technical College?
Yeah,
They
so.
do have a scanner that does do that kind of work.
And that's where we're going. So my good friend who is in West Fox that does all the digitization and the database, just basically taking her keynote on what she recommends for everyone that's doing this process, so.
Also, well, from high school does that as well.
Yeah.
So, and then as far as your stands, I like the idea, I just think probably to wait on installation until you figure out what they're gonna do, because if you install them, and they go to cut trees down, tree doesn't fall on them, break them.
Yeah,
That kind of stuff.
so what we've been doing is in our events, I've just been hauling them in my van,
And then
taking them
take
out
off,
and
okay.
then, and taking them away.
Yeah.
So when we decide, it's all a fluid design, so nothing is going to be permanent with it. So we're not going to do anything where they're going to be doing work.
Okay.
In the next couple of weeks, I want to get with the members from the Corey Committee, and we did get that final survey, and I just want everybody to look at it so that everybody knows what we got there and just kind of give their blessings on it before I sign it and file it. So in the next couple of weeks.
Based on what's going on with Mary, we need to touch base with her.
Yeah.
She's willing,
Yeah, she's been staying in touch with me. I've been talking to her here and there.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff in the hopper.
But I guess one thing that I want to do, and I guess I was kind of thinking about, is seeing how we've been having a little bit of a membership issue with the Corey Committee. I'm kind of wanting to talk to everybody and see about just combining the Corey Committee into the Parks and see what we can do as far as trying to,
I would just have one thing about the money separation on that.
well, yeah, I mean,
And then the
we would have
voting and the
to-
process,
well, and technically, I mean, it's all going to the parks anyways, and you know how we've kinda delegated it for different things. But, yeah, I would like to try and get this going a little bit more, cause I would really like to see these trails get going up there and get those installed, so.
and I would agree, and that's probably part of where I'm working with the parks, the county. So, you know, I think it all works together.
Yep, okay, well, thank you. All right, so then we're gonna move on to machinery, garbage, and ordinance. Gary?
Jim, you got an update for us this month?
I'm not sure, but I don't think the skid steer was here the last meeting. It is here now with all the attachments. We had a little problem with it when I drove it, it would always pull to the left. They came out for nothing, which was part of the deal, and got everything straightened out. It was just a computer thing. We're just still waiting for the flail more, which we don't need until summer. So, other than that, all the attachments are here. That's all I have for updates, really.
So we got our snow bucket.
Didn't get a small bucket, no. Not yet.
All right, well, on to number 2 then. Consider act on approval of purchase of a steel chainsaw in the amount of approximately $700.
The chainsaw that we have now, the steel, is 14 years old, and it's to the point, I mean, it runs fairly decent, it has some problems, and the problem is now, as old as it is, anything you put into it, it's cheaper to buy a new saw, because it isn't gonna be worth it.
Motion to approve.
Just want to update it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And then number 3, consider act on approval of invoice 1211 from Wagner Utility and Excavating in the amount of $2,000 for grading and compacting of a gravel pad.
When we took the building down, the plans are to make that into a lot for aggregate and parking and all kinds of stuff. He had to come in and take some material away, it was too high at one half in the back corner, and then he hauled that inch and a half and spread that around. That would just be half of the lot, and the rest of it now I can do myself, because nothing has to be graded out and hauled away. So that's what was for the half that's there now that he had to do. Like I said, the rest of it, I can do myself, haul it in and level it myself.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, municipal buildings, Tim.
Well, you stole my one for municipal buildings there, I was looking at that. Did you get any prices on the doors?
I haven't on the doors, but I did, I have to call the ones for the doors out here because there's these new gaskets put on these doors here at Village Hall, and I was gonna talk to them about if they install, of course, I'm sure they do, you know, steel doors for like for at the parks, for the shelters. I talked to Sheet Metal Services this morning for the HVAC system for the new building, as per requested at the last meeting. He's gonna call Modern Pole Building, and he's gonna get the drawings from them, and then he's gonna look at them and send them out, so they can have them, you know, they have it engineered, what has to be there.
Okay.
And we talked about, the best is probably like the hang type in a shop, and then of course there'll be a furnace and for air conditioning and stuff for forced air in the office and in the lunchroom. But the rest of it will just be heated, you know, and he says that the best way is just for that, because you can do the Infor, which is the best, but he says the costs are just unreal, you know, because there's prepping the concrete, you gotta lay styrofoam down in the concrete, and there's, you know, and it costs more. It costs more to run even, he said, so. So he's gonna send that to his engineers, and then he'll come back with something, and I kind of told him what was going on with the other thing that was mentioned at the meeting, and,
I'll know more tomorrow on that.
okay, so I told him that, so he was fine, and he was just gonna get at it and he'll let us know as soon as we get something back.
Anything on the plumbing part, electrical?
No, they haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
I will do that. I don't know, I guess I don't know, well, I guess I do know plumbers. Okay. I'll work on that. I'll have something for you at the next meeting.
Thank you.
We good then?
I think we're good.
All right. Parks and Cemetery, Ellen.
Monthly update.
Julie worked on a grant that Quick Trip provides. It's called Quick Trip Cares. And she got $1,500 from Quick Trip to be put towards our park system. So that I want that money to be earmarked. You can either put it, I don't know if you can put it in the parks budget, or you have to earmark and put it where in the equipment outlay like we have been, Becky. But just so it's earmarked, so we know, so I know where it is, so we can use it just for the parks then. So
Okay.
she just told me today that she got that, so. For the ice rink, I want to thank Matt Hager. He came out and helped us drag everything out of the shed and, or out of sewer and set it up. And so we appreciate that, because every year that thing gets a little bigger. And I had, and then to put down the lights and the liner, Dave Kroll and Roger White were out there, and they helped us do all that along with, were you there? Stephen was there. That's right, you were on vacation. So, I mean, it's nice to have volunteers, and I had Scott Gusky offered his help when we decorate or undecorate trees, and I've been getting a lot of offers from people just to come out and help. So it's been really a good thing this year, I think.
Awesome.
And I know, like I said, Roger, if I don't call him when I'm out there working, he gets mad, so he wants to be out there. So I really appreciate everything everybody does, because it really helps a lot. You know, it takes a lot of people to do that stuff, and it's getting better every year. That's all I have for a monthly update. Trees, what about the trees?
What about the trees?
Oh, we still have one tree yet they did undecorate. I think when the weather gets better this year, or this week, we'll just take it down and we'll box what's on it. And maybe they took the lights off. If they did, that must mean they don't want the ornaments. So we'll get them down this week, and when the weather gets better, we'll decorate the other trees, but it's not a big deal.
We still have people that haven't paid for their trees.
We discussed the one, Rusloff, since he donated $4,500 for that ornament shed, he'll never have to buy a tree. So, and he stores it for us and picks it up every year, so he always gets one for free, but everybody else says he'll have to pay.
We'll have to change it that they come and pay for it first and then decorate.
This year, it is what it is, you know,
Yeah.
because it was a spur of the moment thing, and we'll just deal with it, and next year we'll have it all figured out.
Well, and then just have them sign something that they have to have the decorations up by January 5th, or the village will dispose of it.
Yeah, see, it was just, nothing was set up, it is what it is.
Now you look back on it, it's just something that,
Mhm.
I will say Gus Gusky was going around advertising those trees quite a bit, so he put a lot of time into getting that. Gus Gusky, and he was talking to just about anybody and everybody he could. try to
there's a lot of people in Montana that were
participate in that.
impressed with that
Yeah.
we did that.
And I had people that were decorating said that it's about time we were waiting for this, so.
Yeah.
So that's good, you know, makes it worth all the effort. Okay, that's, I guess, all I have. Thank you.
Set date and time for Parks Committee to discuss ideas for this coming year.
We missed number 2? Or did we?
We just
We
talked.
did, well,
We didn't increase
Why
the
don't we
amount.
take number 2 and just keep that for when we have our Parks Committee meeting, and that all can be discussed then?
Okay,
Would that be okay?
I agree with
that's fine.
Okay.
So we have to vote to table it.
that. We don't have a motion on it, it's just a
More,
discussion.
yeah, it's just for discussion.
Yeah, it's just for discussion. All right, so what are you thinking for date and time?
I'm open most of February.
How soon
Maybe
did
we
you
could
want,
do it in an afternoon.
how soon did you want to do this, Ellen?
It doesn't matter to me, whatever works for you guys.
We can do it in the afternoon, that way Jim's here and stuff.
Well, should we maybe try for the 5th of February and,
Are you okay with that, Gary?
In the afternoon,
Yeah,
yeah, I could probably squeeze that in.
what time you think?
Well, all depends what time I get done with that doctor's appointment in the morning, but, I mean, what, 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock?
3? Is that what you're thinking? Are you good with that, Gary?
Mm-hmm.
So 3 o'clock on February 5th.
Unless we have a blizzard by then.
Why do you swear like that?
I'm looking forward to the snow.
I want some snow.
Yeah.
Pushing comes down my driveway?
Need some snow.
I know the guy that plows my driveway, he's looking for snow.
All right. So are we good with the parks and cemetery then, Ellen?
We are done.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the police and fire. Mr. Hager.
Well, yeah, it's nice that you're here. You can give us an update on the fire district.
No changes, the rescue truck is still not, there's one lighting circuit that they can't get the bugs out of it. They thought they had it fixed. And I got an email before I came here that said it acted up again over the weekend, so they're still fighting with one lighting circuit on that truck. We had roughly 450 calls last year, so we're down about 50 from the last 3 years. We've been running over 500. Last year we were down about 450. And I think right now we're about 20 for the month.
Jeff, do they plan on using a helicopter pad out by under the industrial drive?
Yes,
Is that gonna be the main one now?
that's what we're trying to set up,
Because
yes.
so I know, so I can make sure that's always stays clean.
I was told you were gonna keep it clean.
Yeah, I just wanna verify that.
Yeah, the problem with Dollar General is we've got that meat packing, staining guy on the cul-de-sac, and we never know when he's there or not there, and
If
we can't close it off.
if we have a snow event and you get a call, then get hold of me on the radio so I can get that, go right out there and get that cleaned off then right away. Otherwise it won't be until after the storm's over.
Yeah.
Okay?
I would assume Dollar General's saying that.
Anything else, Jeff? Anything else?
That's all I've got.
Okay, still ongoing, accepting donations to the fire district. Okay, number 2, monthly police update. Kyle?
Okay. As I stated before, last month, Bree is going to the Wisconsin Chiefs of Police Winter Conference in Wisconsin Dells, the second week of February. I'm gonna go down on Tuesday, meet with vendors, so I can get some quotes and prices for the new squad truck. I also have to talk to the employment attorney about the nepotism issue with Bree and her dad working, and get that squared away. As you can see, you all have tablets in front of you now. All the employees have new phones, so I've got that set up. Your tablets are set up. At the end of the meeting, I'll go through the tablets with you, but I give myself a pat on the back. That was a lot of work.
I still don't get my phone.
Go for a clap.
We had a problem with Bree's PVT. We used Dollar General batteries and they leaked on the connection and destroyed the PVT. So I called PVT and they were gracious enough to send us a used demo unit free of charge. So when I did that, I kind of like write a thank you letter and have all the board members sign it and we send it off to an Intoximeter. And we also, in the budgets, it's coming up purchasing calibrated, so.
Was that the computer we were looking at the other day? The one that wasn't working with the
No,
Oh, okay.
that's the Wi-Fi for our laptops, so.
Okay.
Everything's going okay. Bree is going to be going with Officer Henderson, the school liaison officer for the school, and do a Alice alert, which is basically an intruder alert. There's a mass shooting or active shooter situation at Sunshine, or the Little Small Daycare. So she's going to be working with that with Officer Hendrickson, I guess, from the Houma Police Department. And then also, there's training coming up the week after the chief's training. There's training in Wisconsin Dells for active shooter training. And Leaf is going to that, so I'm sending Bree to that for, it's $150, so send her down there so she's aware of that training. And then we can start handling in-house training ourselves with places like Little Sprouts or the library or the senior center or the nursing home. She'll have that knowledge to do those things. Working on prison cases, trying to get caught up. I've jumped in to kind of help Bree between doing the admin stuff. We've got, I think, 13 cases referred so far this month. We went out again yesterday and picked up another 17 cases. So as much as we ship out, we get that much more in. But we're still keeping our billing. Our billing for first quarter should be a pretty good chunk of money because we're doing a lot of work out there. Still working on getting quotes. I got some electronic quotes for the squad truck, and I had one of the deputies come in with his F-150 pickup truck, had it bring it in the garage last Wednesday, make sure we wouldn't have any issues with clearance. Truck fits in, no problem. I've got to sit down with, I've got to get options, so I have to sit down and call a vendor. I tried calling before Christmas and the vendor was out, salesperson was out, so still trying to work on that. Working up odds and ends, doing end of year stuff. Caitlin has come into the office. She has our wipers all caught up from August, so we're all caught up and up to date with that, so I don't get any more nasty grams from the state saying you're behind 3 months getting your wiper submissions done. They're done. She's starting to work on our keeping tabs for our budget for next year. And then she's going to be coming in Wednesday and working with Bree to learn how to do the statements with the Dragon speech recognition software. We have a lot of statements piled up, so she'll be able to get those done and out of the way, I guess, in a fairly organized manner. I don't have end of year call counts for that because Caitlin has to sit down with Ryan and learn how to pull that report out, so I will have that in March. I'll have our ticket counts and then how many calls we had and what calls we had for you in March. I think that's about it for now.
Okay, well, thank you, Kyle.
Okay, we're gonna move on. We have an invoice from Waushara County. And consider act on approval of the annual net motion licenses from Waushara County in the amount of $2,100.
Those are licenses that allow us to connect to the Waushara County computers so that we can run our Spillman RMS system. So we have 7 accounts. We have 3 accounts for the computers in the office, 2 in the squad cars, and then Bree and I each have a take-home computer that we work on stuff when we're not here. So that'd be a total of 7, so they're $300 a piece. They haven't raised, well, they raised it I think 2 or 3 years ago. It used to be $150, and they've kind of gradually gone up, but that's licensing fees that we have to license that application for, and then I believe the county takes part of that money, kind of sticks it in the slush fund, so that when they start running out of storage space in their servers, they kind of have money sitting there to either add to or replace their servers, so. That's all on that.
Motion to approve? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, number 4, consider act on approval of annual renewal fee for iCrime Fighter subscription in the amount of $950.
So they kept the price on that the same. We are kind of one of the first people that started with them. They're doing price increases with everybody else, but they didn't with us. So I thank them for that. What iCrime Fighter is, it's kind of a database where we store all of our pictures, our videos, our tape statements. We save it, upload it. We actually use either the computers in the office or in the squads, or we use our cell phones. And we get that information, we'll upload it and store it in there. And we can share all that information directly with the district attorney's office or the sheriff's department or any other department that also works with iCrime Fighter. We just push a button and we share it to them. If people want pictures of crash scenes or statements or open records, we can take those and select those, put those in an attachment in an email it to them. Makes our life so much simpler and have to go and put stuff on a thumb drive and mail the thumb drive. Makes life really easy. So, yeah, $950. I was surprised. I figured it'd be about $1,500. So when I got the bill, I was very happy.
Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, consider act on approval of annual dues for MOCIC.
So MOCIC is Midwest Organized Crime Information Center. We're kind of they get funded by a special grant from the U.S. Department of Justice, it's Midwest states, and they're kind of a database where they keep trends on crimes throughout the whole Midwest. They have special analysts that could, we've used it before for blowing up digital pictures, so we can see digital pictures and determine like license plates or what people are wearing as far as clothing. They do loan out equipment, they have seismic equipment, so if we would ever have something where somebody's supposedly buried on a piece of property somewhere, we can use seismic equipment and actually see if there's something underground there. They have cameras that they loan out, specialized microphones, hidden microphones, spy gear is what they kind of call it. So they're a good resource. It only costs us $100 a year. So if we send that stuff out to the state crime lab, I'd probably still be waiting for it. MOCIC, they get it back to me within probably a week. I think maybe it was 2 weeks the last one. So it's money well spent, and it's only $100. So
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, number 6, consider act on approval of an intoximeter PBT calibrator.
okay, I put this in budget for this year. The sheriff's department used to calibrate our PVTs. They don't notify us anymore. I don't know when they have them. I think it's just better that we have our own, so we can do it in-house by ourselves. And this is the company, like I said, is giving us a used free demo unit, PBT replacing Breeze. So basically it's a machine, and we use it to calibrate the PBTs that we use. So there's training that we'll have to have on that, but that is provided by the state. And we'll have to probably wait until Matt's done with his teaching in Madison, and when he has a day off, and I'll schedule training for us. And then we'll come in, we'll do training and learn how to operate it. So the amount on that is $245.
54.
254, okay, yeah, 54. Sorry.
And so one of the possibilities with this is it could be used to calibrate other municipalities as well too.
If they have an intoximeter brand, we can do the FSTs, we can do the intoximeter 3s. They're having a new one come out. They're working on the technology. I think like a pulsometer you put on someone's finger. So, but basically it just is a fuel cylinder that registers the amount of ethyl alcohol that's emitted in the blood, and those fuel cells have to be, the sensors have to be adjusted on it. So from time to time, make sure they're accurate. So.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, one more. Consider act on approval of Lexipol annual subscription in the amount of $3,979.94.
So, we're still working on getting all the department's policy stuff done on those. I try to work on it when I have time. Hopefully, I I guess when we get another person hired, it'll give me some more time to do it, but we get the monthly updates, the legal updates from them, and they hold our policies. They make suggestions on even with new case law that happens. You know, they come out and say, well, you should change your policy to this. So we started that back when I started, and I've got about halfway done now, but I've got to complete it. And also, when we renew the policy, we let our insurance company know, and we either get a rebate check or a discount or something on our insurance.
I think they reimburse our check.
They reimburse us somehow, so we do get some money back because we have it, so.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I guess one other thing I want to go over quick, updates for employment. I got 4 applications, actually 5. One I had to disqualify because the person is a convicted felon and I can't hire convicted felons. I've got 4 more applications that I'm going through. I'll be starting on doing backgrounds on them. And I will probably have, within the next week or 2 weeks, we'll have a committee meeting and start doing interviews on prospective employees. It's thin again, it's a real thin. We just can't get people to apply here, and sometimes we get a lot of applications for people that A, aren't qualified, or B, had troubles in other departments and are not working in other departments for various reasons, and they just kind of throw it out there by us to see if it sticks. I guess we're not in that desperate of a situation where we have to hire just anybody. I want to have quality people working here. I want to train quality people. I don't want to leave this department with people that I really don't wholeheartedly trust or feel can do the job. So if things don't pan out with this round, I will put another ad out again, and we'll try again. We'll see if we can get some of these young people that are in the academies that will be graduating this spring. Maybe we can grab somebody out of one of those. I had one person that wanted to apply. I said, well, for the right person, we would put them through the academy, sponsor them in the academy and stuff, and they just didn't want to take the time to go through the academy. They thought they could just come in and I give them a badge and let them go. And that's not the way it works.
I do have someone that talked to me about that option that I'll talk to you about offline.
Okay. That's all for the police department.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Sewer and water, Mark.
Monthly update. Stephen went to rural water in Clover last week and took 2 tests. I completed our annual sludge hauling and characteristics report that the DNR required us to do annually. I sent some pictures in the email to you guys about, we had a exhaust fan at the headworks that had the fan shroud motor brackets rotted off, and I ordered new legs and horizontal brackets for it, but the fan's so old that they only had 2 more horizontal brackets, so then I gave Jim them to take to Jim in Laurelville to fab us up some, so he can get those all replaced. And we've also been helping Jim with brushing when we have free time, so that's all I have for monthly updates.
Consider act on approval of quote for motion in the amount of $5,700 for purchase of a brake assembly for the bars.
Yeah, last month I had this on the agenda and we tabled it for this month. That our bar screen takes all the water that comes from the city and from the prison, goes through the bar screen, and it gets all the non-organics and all the plastics and all the stuff that gets flushed down the toilet, and it removes it and rakes it. And when it parks up on the top side of the bar screen. That electric motor has a brake assembly. That brake assembly, we're told by Motion Industries, is obsolete, and they have one on the shelf. So we're wanting to get this so we have the parts on hand for future breakdowns.
So basically, you don't want it to, if it breaks down, it's pretty much screwed, so
Yeah.
this is proactive.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, streets, sidewalks, and ditches, Matt.
That update first, Jim?
Yep, I want to thank Dylan Gray for setting up my computer so I can do my financials on it, all my budgets and stuff like that, because, you know, I'm always out in the field, I don't spend nowhere near enough time by my computer. They made it as simple at a glance and simple stuff to enter in, and I always know where I'm gonna be at, and I really appreciate that, because I love it, it's really working good. I'm surprised. Anyways, thank you for that. House numbers, Gene's been delivering them to the residents. I had him stay home the last 2 days because of the cold, the next 2 days, but otherwise, when he's here, he's been getting them together and delivering them. And we noticed that a lot of residents are putting them up already.
Yeah.
And I've been getting some phone calls asking, you know, asking if it's all right if they put it here or there, because, and I go out and look and say, yeah, that's the only place they can. It's fine as long as it's facing the address, that when they shine a light on it, they can see it, so.
Yeah, an example of that is on Thackeray, all those, the little apartments like I live in. The side that it says on the note, it actually doesn't fit, it overhangs the door and the window, so if we put it on the other side of the door.
That's fine, wherever you can make it fit, just so it's, yeah. The problem is, like Kyle says too, is that a lot of people, their address, their numbers aren't facing their address street. That's the problem. Or they don't have any on it at all, so. Somebody had to put theirs on the garage because that's attached, because there was no place in the front to put it, so. That's fine, whatever, you know, at least they're asking and they're getting them up, so. Next month I'll be getting, try to be getting some bids on some of the projects that I'm doing, and, or I should say, getting some estimates, and then, so I can get them together, and then I can put them out for bids, hopefully in March or April, because that's when usually when they start doing their work, so. So I have some, a lot of culvert work to do this year, some ditching, and like I said, I planned on doing Cottonville. That'll be 4 inches of aggregate with a double chip seal on it. So that's the big project, and then the parking lot at the library is on the agenda too, so I have to get estimates for all of that, and then we'll put them out for bids. So that should be out by the end of March or the first part of April for bids. That's all I have for monthly update. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, thank you. All right, so miscellaneous business. Consider act on approval of application for an operator's license effective January 21st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025 for Zoe Drahim at Conan Oil Shell. Nothing?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consider act on approval of application for an operator's license effective January 21st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025 for Charity Caston, Dollar General, 11718. Any problems? Nothing there?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And then consider act on approval of application for an operator's license effective January 21st, 2025 through June 30th, 2025 for Jason Myers, Dollar General Store, 11718.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Items to be placed on next board meeting.
Snow bucket for the skid steer.
I've been ahead of time, police department.
What do you got,
What was
Kyle?
that?
End of year report for police department.
What do we, no. So after that memorial trees, are we gonna have to vote on that at the next board meeting? After it's
when is
discussed at
that?
the parks meeting?
I'm guessing it's gotta be around 10 or 12 or something like that.
Can you get a price on a snow bucket?
Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep. On these cold days, I've been on the phone with a lot of stuff. I will
Anything anybody else
That will
needs
complete the
to,
operation for
We'll have to,
that? That'll be it for that?
yeah, the
What was
annual
that?
report.
At this point, yeah.
library report?
That I can think of.
And your quarry survey.
Yeah, we can put that on there.
Guess I had a question about the old village hall building over there with the plaster that's falling off the building. Is that the same building that was owned by the lady
Mhm,
that
yes.
had, and she's no longer,
Yep.
she's deceased, so.
Yep.
Has anybody been in that building to see what the condition is, or?
No.
They were taking pictures of it, was that 2 weeks ago?
2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing a few people around there, but I guess the only thing I know about the whole situation so far is the one son that she still has alive is in Texas, and it sounded like he had no interest in dealing with any of this unless there was some money for him. So at this point, it's kind of left up to the state to figure out what they gotta have, because they're gonna be the first ones to sell off property because she was in a nursing home and,
So that's also one of those that had
Yeah.
back taxes.
yep. So we'll have to wait and see what's gonna happen there.
I plan on cutting the trees around there, cleaning it up a little bit.
That'd be good.
This fall or this winter, not that, just cut all that crap around there, just kind of clean it up. Nothing's been done with it.
I would say the sidewalk though, as you walk to the post office, it is pretty dangerous because that plaster is falling down. So maybe even just close off that parking lot or that part of the sidewalk so people don't get concussed from, because it's falling down daily, chips are.
Yeah, there's some big chunks laying, I couldn't believe there were people parking there.
I know, and I don't know who that sidewalk belongs to, but if somebody gets hurt on it.
Yeah, okay. Anything else anybody wants on this next board meeting?
Warmer weather.
All right, well then, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are now adjourned at 19:23.
And don't run away.